Right. Welcome everyone to another pre-market breakdown Zoom call. I'm just going to do an analysis, sorry, on the chart on both pairs, EU and GU, and just basically give my prediction on where I believe the market's going to go for the next coming week. Of course, I can be completely wrong, but I'm just analyzing what I'm seeing basically. So let's just have a look now and see what we can see. So I'm just going to start from the higher time frame. The first pair I'm going to analyze is GU to the dollar, and we're going to see where we are. So weekly, just let me just zoom out so we can see what we're looking at. Just get rid of this for now. Move these out of the way. So we can see that where price is reacting from is an extreme level. Um, we can see that this is the high that made a low. So we can see that this is the high that made a low down here that broke structure. And we can see that we've gone all the way up to extreme supply. And now we're getting strong rejection, bearish push down from the extreme supply on the weekly time frame. If you go back all the way back and look, you'll see that it's like on a massive downtrend with lower lows and lower highs. Um, if we can see, if we zoom in a bit more, we can see that we have a low down here that made a high up here that broke structure. We had a retracement, which is not, there's loads of liquidity down here. If you get your fib tool and draw from this low down here to the high, which is right here, you will see that not even 50% of this leg retracement has happened. So, another way you can look at it is as a break, test, push higher, and now we're coming back to mitigate deeper levels before potentially we get the bullish expansion again internally and to attack this supply zone. If not, we're just going to continue the higher time frame bearish momentum and break past this and go further, further, further down. But for what we trade, we can say that we're bearish. It's making lower lows and lower highs because we're reacting from extreme levels. So let me just delete that and just drop down to daily. I know it's getting a bit boring about the push. So we've got the main push here from that low to that high. Whoop. It broke structure right here. We broke internal structure and we broke this structure. But this is the structure that's relevant to the push because if you go high, low, that's the last low that made this high. It came back, broke it. So now we had a retracement, lower high, which makes a lower low, which breaks structure here. Then bullish came in and took out both this one and this one, which shows that bullish is in control. So what I'll do to simplify it is from this push, I did extreme and decisional. So we know the decisional zone is always the zone that caused the break of structure, which is right here. So this internal BOS right here is the decisional zone. So all of this from here to there, extend it across, is a decisional zone. And as I said, a good way to identify if the zone is going to hold or not is the reaction it gives. So once it pushed out, it came back, test the decisional zone, boop, failed to make a higher high, came back deeper again to test it even more, failed to make a higher high even again, and then eventually break. Once it broke, we retraced it back up again, and now we broke even lower. The last point where prices is right now is right. We go to the left, we can see that's a low that made a high that broke structure. Decisional zone got smoked. So now we're looking like we're coming down now to extreme. And with these candle momentum, we can see that we're attacking the extreme zone like very, 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 we're coming in very hot and we're attacking it very hot. So, we need to see um, how it's going to hold if price breaks through this level. So where we are right now, we're at this level right here. This put it as extreme demand zone, but really and truly it's a POI. This is a POI for now. What I can see as well, I can see we have a low here, inducement, which induced all of this structure level. This is an inducement, break, test, push higher. So I do potentially see this POI not holding. Why would I say it's a break and test? Because if I go down to the low right here and draw up to the high, of course, we have a break of structure right here. Boop, that's the break of structure. Break, test, push higher. We've never come back to this area here to do anything. So once this area is induced, I'll be looking for buying. But from the momentum coming down, of course, price can just go up from this area and go make a higher high and use this decisional zone inducement as fuel to then potentially go and make a higher high because we're bullish on this push from that high, from that low to that high. But I do think that this is going to get disrespected. The dollar is on a rampage at the moment. It just want to go down. It wants to push everything down and it just wants to go up. Yeah, it just wants to go up. Let me just drop down to 4 hour so we can see our 4 hour leg. So we can see that the last swing is this high, which came down to this low because we're bearish internally, and we broke structure here. After the broker structure, you have internal of the 4 hour leg, break of structure right here. Of course, you can say break, test, push lower. So break, this is the test area, but let's drop down to 1 hour so we can see it. Drop down again to 15 minutes. So I've got this as break and test. It's because we got look high, low, break of structure right here, came up, test, push lower. If we have a mitigation of this POI right here, then potentially I'll be looking to sell to carry on the bearish movement because we are extremely bearish. We're extremely bearish, and I'll be continue looking to sell until I see at least some structure to the upside getting broken. Of course, we are down on the push, so I'm expecting in terms of a retracement because we had a big push down, we had a big sell off, so I'm expecting some form of retracement back up into this 4 hour leg to then continue to sell it back down again. So of course, we have the break of structure here, so we need a retracement now. Anywhere along here, we need a retracement to then go down again. I get my fib tool again and draw from high to low. Whoop. We know that at least 50% retracement is here. So anywhere along here potentially would be good selling opportunity to start sell again. But you can see I've drawn like trendline liquidity. Or it could be just standard price action movement. So where I am right now is I need a retracement because the main push internally has already happened. So we need change of character and break of structure to confirm the retracement phase. And as you've seen, say that in terms of retracement, we need two 15-minute break of structure to confirm the retracement has started. As you can see, I'm on 15 minute. We haven't had nothing yet. So nothing like this yet to say that we're ready to retrace, and nothing like whoop, 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 whoop. So that would be break here. One, two. And keep respecting the lows and break higher. Then we can say the complex pullback has started. And then once it reaches efficiency of pullback, then potentially, by the way our market is looking, we look for another expansion to the downside. Yes, Marcel, you okay? Yeah. Sorry, my son is here. Hold on 1 second. So what I'm gonna do now, the chat is open anyway. So the chat is open just to see what, if anyone's got any different analysis to what I've marked up right here, or what is everyone is thinking. Do everyone think that this zone that is reacting from this POI that I've marked up, do we think that it's going to hold, or do we think it's going to be broken and price is going to continue going down and potentially take this extreme level out down here? So I'm just gonna, what does everyone think? One's quiet today. Got to call mommy,
My
Marcel.
name's Farhia. I'm kind of new here, so I just wanted to say salam.
Hello there. What's your thoughts on it? On what I've said in terms, what have you got? What are your buyers for the week? Also, go with mommy. Have you
Um,
got the key?
yeah, no, I agree that you're waiting for the POI to be mitigated before you go back into buyers. So yeah, I agree with that.
So this POI for me is it's been mitigated. So this POI has been mitigated now, but we've had a main push because the main push from here came down and it broke structure. So after a breakup structure, we tend to see a retracement. And then once the efficiency of the pullback in terms of the retracement is met, then we get another main push again. And if you look, we've been bearish. We've been bearish for days and days and days. From there, look, high, low. You can see high lows, high lows, high lows, breaker structure, high, low, breaker structure. Even when it's doing break and test to the downside, it kind of respect like you know like areas and then make a new lower low, break of structure, came back up again, mitigate something, push lower again. You can see that we are bearish internally. We've had a break of structure now, so in terms of what we want to see now is we want to see some form of retracement, some form of structure to form to then give us some form of complex pullback, which we can trade up. But any complex pullback trades, as Yassine would say, it has to be short terms, 1 to 3, then you're out. You're not gonna look on trying to take our retracement to 1 to 10 or 1 to 12 because it's a retracement. We can clearly see that we are bearish when we see candles like this. When we see candles like this coming down, and the more you go up, the more you can see. Look how the previous day has finished. Look, minimum wick to the bottom. We got a couple wick to the tops, so you can see that they really drive price down, really, really drive price down. And now, we need some form of retracement. But yeah, it's extremely, extremely bearish pressure. Extremely. So the smartest thing to do is probably wait for a retracement and then sell it down once it reaches some form of levels to sell it down. Or if you can do it, you can just buy up the retracement and then sell it down and continue the bearish push.
Yeah. Do you know for the FIB tool, do you use it as like a final confirmation, or do you use it as like, okay, I'm gonna wait for price to reach liquidity in this zone on my FIB tool before you like enter a trade?
So the fib tool for me, um, hold on. The fib tool for me, I use it as like kind of extra confluence, um, because it also helps me to see like break and test. So if I see that, okay, price is like, especially when it comes to entries, if it's in like above 50%, like above the 50% region, then I'm more confluent when I see a change of character and a break of structure on the lower time frame to take it in the preferred direction. Does that make sense? So for example, if I see some kind of retracement of this now, if I see some retracement line, give me 1 second. What do you need? The room key. I think you've got it. Hold on, give me 1 second. Yeah, I think you have a room key. You lock the door glass. Yeah, so as I'm saying is if I see it's making the retracement phase has started and I see that it's retracing back, and then let's say it's gonna start sell down from
Yeah,
here. It's a bit iffy if you're gonna take it. For me anyway, it's a bit iffy if I'm gonna take it. I need it to at least come below the 50%, because sometimes what I see is when it reacts from here, it might give you a fake out. Now imagine, you enter from these levels. So you put your limit here because you've seen a change. And then what it will do is it will just take you out and then bit, well, it goes up one more and then it will then come down. Does that make sense?
um,
Because if people are selling below these level, they're not getting it at like cheap prices. Does it make sense? They're selling it at high prices.
I see.
What?
Yeah, so the premium price will probably be the 78.6.
Yeah, exactly. So what I find as well, based on my back testing, is that I see that, even on the 1 minute time frame, the 5 minute time frame, on the lower time frame, is the 78.6 and the 61.8 levels are price usually go there, and then that kind of, once it reacts from there and it gives you a new leg, it kind of respects it basically. So I just use this as like a confluence. I don't use it as the almighty, because sometimes price do sell off not from premium level, just from higher prices. If we're extremely bearish, it does sometimes doesn't go up to at least 50% and make a new leg. But if you want to add more confluence, at least you can then say, anywhere around here, even up here, and you see change of character, break of structure to sell, you might, if you take it from up here, at least you're giving yourself a better fighting chance of it being right and it's going your way. Does it
Yeah,
make sense?
yeah, definitely.
Rather than
But you'd
rather
need to
than
know
me,
your bias first, right? Before you use
yeah,
the FIB tool, right? Yeah.
exactly. You do need to know your bias, yes. But
Oh, okay.
but you will know your bias from market structure anyway, because you can see that internally we're bearish. We have had no bullishness inside. So now I know that we're bearish. You know now we're bearish because The last price is that's the high that made a low that broke structure and it's coming in hot. This zone, I think it's going to be night night to this zone. This zone's going to get disrespected. This is my opinion. Of course, sometime I might say stuff on here, and when the market tomorrow, it might do completely opposite of what I say. But
Yeah,
from what
yeah.
I can see, is that that's a high. It's made a low. It broke structure. After a break of structure, we need retracement. After our main internal push, we need some retracement. Whether it's going to retrace from here or it's going to push down more and then retrace, but we do need a retracement. So down here, I would not be looking for selling. It makes no sense. Does that make sense? Why would I look on for selling when I'm already low? I'll be looking for what? Buying because I'm
But
low.
buy because it's like swept
Yeah,
all that liquidity, isn't it? Yeah.
exactly. Because now the liquidity is swept from inside here. This is now swept. So now the liquidity is now where? On the outside. The inside liquidity is swept. The liquidity is now on the outside. So we need a push down and we need a retracement to grab the liquidity. And then once the liquidity is grabbed, we get a push down again. But the daily time frame, when you see candles like this, you know that today, or this candle that's getting formed now, you know that it's going to continue its bearishness. Did you find it? Do you want to get the car keys and look in the car? Do you want to stay? I'll say, do you want to stay here with daddy? Stay here with daddy. Yeah. Once you see, once you see the previous day finishes like this, you know that yes, we're going to need a retracement, but the retracement, you're not looking to make all-time high. You just wanted to probably go, I don't know, maybe 50% of the day or the pre of this candle or Marcel. Come and sit down right here. Come sit here. Hold on a minute. Let me give this boy the phone.
Yeah, no worries.
I think a lot of it is you just need to have context with it, and a lot of it is common sense. Like when you're analyzing the market, because before I knew what I knew now is I'll be down here and I'll still be looking for sales, but now I don't do that because it's just silly. So now if I know we're down, I'll be looking to buy, and I know that when I'm buying, it's the retracement. So if it gives me 1 to 2, I might take it. If it gives me 1 to 1, I might take it because it's only a
Yeah,
retracement. The clever thing to do is you leave the retracement alone and wait for the pro trend move. Because when this pro trend move, it will go to your TP quicker and less psychology, less less everything. Everything just go quicker.
yeah. Sometimes what I do is that I'll go to the hourly and find session highs and lows and trade off of those. What do you think of that?
Amazing, amazing. Because
It's good?
look, you can see, yeah, amazing. Just keep doing that. A
Yeah,
lot of people, a lot of people are stuck on the 1 minute, and I got burned so many times from the 1 minute.
yeah. I'll go to the hourly. I'll find previous session highs and lows from New York and London session the day before, and even Asian session. Um, but me personally, I like to trade more New York session. It just works better for me. But
Okay,
yeah, that's kind of what I do. But yeah, it kind of does work for me.
no, amazing. The 1 hour and the 15 minute time frame. Hold on a second, and let's put this spider program on file. Okay, I'm going to put spider. You're meant to be at bed, Marcel, so late. Yes, it's late. It's a watch spider then. Right, can you hear me back now? Sorry, I'm back.
Yeah, we can hear.
Yeah. So the best combination of time frame that I find is the 15 minute and the 1 hour. So those, combining those two, you can see, you can get, a trade, you can get, you can enter at the right place. You can see a lot because when we're bearish on a 4 hour leg or after the retracement is finished and then it start changing character, it will always respect a high. So you can then use your Fibonacci tools there and execute after 50%. Because if you look, let me just show you an example. Let me show you a few examples. You can still see my screen, right?
Yeah.
So this is a 1 hour time frame. So we have low, high. Of course, we had a break of structure right here, yeah? Break, break here, and break down here. Can you see?
Yep.
Then look where it retraced to.
78.6.
Okay, let's drag it down again. We have a break of structure right here, yeah? Of course, we will retrace to the highest point after the break of structure. Made equal lows, retraced again, then push down. Let me move it again. Let me show you how I would use it. So that's the last high that made a low that broke structure. And just pull this up a little bit. Look where it retraced to.
Oh,
Can you
I
see?
see. I see. Yeah, you're
Okay.
using the tool to mark out the high to the low, that broke structure, and then you're using it to measure where you're going to enter the trade, isn't it? Yeah.
As a confluence, it doesn't work like, look, here it didn't work. It didn't come back up to these type of level to any kind of efficiency. Instead, because we're heavily bearish, it sell off below 50%. But up here, of course, you could have caught some trades up here as it was doing it. I'm not gonna, I don't use it, I'm not gonna say, oh, you like depend on it, but obviously it's a good thing to have as an extra confluence to then say, I'm in the 78.6 and I'm in premium zone. So maybe it's, you know, we might be looking to go bearish again, basically. So it's just an extra bit of confluence, nothing more.
Okay. Yeah. No, that makes sense. Thank you so much, Shane.
Okay. Does anyone else have any more questions in regards to GU? Because I'm just going to do EU now. I'm not going to be on here too long. But you can see in terms of how I explain it, it's very straightforward. It's very hard. When you're new, it's kind of hard to understand because it's legs within legs within legs within legs. Because I've just shown you the higher time frame leg, and now I'm on the H4. Look, this is the H4 leg from up here to down here. That break, that's H4. Then we drop down to H1, and you can see them. Oh, 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 oh. You can see them. And look, when your tracing starts, that's the last low that made this high up here, that broke structure right here. And then, I was saying, okay, this is complex pullback. And then obviously you've got your extreme levels down here. And you can also use this as a SMT module, which I like to use. Um, so if we're saying extreme levels are down here, let's say extreme levels are down here. And decisional zone be up here, I would say decisional. All right, give me a second. Yeah, decisional zones up here. Remember I was saying about the SMT module, how it always does this. Every time when it's taking a zone out, it always does this and tracing it into the zone deeper and deeper until eventually the zone gets absolutely taken out. The zone gets taken out eventually. But yeah, what I'll do is, as I said, I'll open up the chat Well, the chat's already open. Does anyone have any different analysis to me in terms of GU? No? Okay. Right. We just have a look at EU now very quickly, and that would wrap it up. Right. So EU, just the same as G, you can see on the 4 hour time frame, what's relevant to us right now is this high and this low that breaks structure. When I say relevant, it's just something you need to keep in the back of your mind that we're at extreme level weekly and we had a strong rejection. We drop down to daily, what we can see. Sorry, just before, we can see on the weekly that we have a break and test up here as well, where the last high, let's say that's the last high, and all the way across, we broke, we tested, and we push higher. No, all of this down here has not been tested. No liquidity. All liquidity is down here. Nothing down here has been mitigated. Just nothing. So we've been basically buying off break and test liquidity. So we're buying up. So look, oop, even to here. Here, sorry. You can see that, yeah, it's not come back, no retracement. So it makes sense now why we're getting this big candle sell down because the liquidity now lies underneath from this time frame. Of course, we don't trade a weekly time frame. We trade lower time frame. So let's just drop down and you can see what we can see. Okay. So we can see here that we have a low that made a high. We have a lower low that make a higher high. That broke structure there. And that came back a retrace. That pushed back off. And that broke structure there. So the leg that was relevant to us was this push right here from low to high. So that was our leg. And we can see we had a major inducement because a major level that was basically been taken out. We can see that we came back, we are extreme on the weekly, we mitigate extreme level on the weekly, and now we're getting this bearish momentum. Boom, boom, break, retrace, break, some form of retracement, break. So we're extremely bearish. Now we've done a major inducement because it's broken an extremely key level. So now, while I sit down here, I'm looking now for a retracement. So just like GU, I'll be looking for buys because I know we're sitting at the bottom. It's also very dangerous to buy because we're heavily bearish. We're heavily bearish. What's wrong? Leave it. Why have we dropped? Oh, there you go. Okay. Yeah. We're heavily bearish. So I know that any retracement, especially when the previous day finishes like this, any retracement will be temporarily. Of course, I do want a retracement to give me some form of efficiency before selling down more, because I understand that there are still loads of liquidity lie underneath. And I understand as well from a higher time frame perspective, we're reacting from a break and test. And last time last time I believe we draw some trend line from all the way down there. And you can see probably there's multiple touches on the trend line and all in this space. It's just liquidity. This is why it's coming down so aggressively. But yeah, after this major inducement, I'm expecting some form of retracement. It might not, and it just continue selling, selling, selling because we are heavily bearish, heavily, heavily bearish. If I drop down to the 4 hour time frame and have a look, where was my last 4 hour swing? So it was this high that made a low, which broke the internal 4 hour leg structure and the major inducement structure right here. This was an inducement based push as well, because it induced from the left. Inducement, then push. So this POI here is very, very, very strong. This whole POI here is very strong because it's an inducement based one. People said. Where's the spider? So it's an
Sorry to,
inducement based
sorry to interrupt
one.
you, Shane, but I
Mm-hmm.
marked that out as a decisional POI.
Which one? This one.
The POI that you just mentioned,
Yeah,
the
it
one,
is.
the one given,
It is a decisional.
because the one above that, the one that I put as an extreme.
Wait,
Do you know where?
when you say decisional POI,
Yeah,
so all of that, wait, it depends on what time frame you're looking at it as. So
I've put it down.
from a daily time frame, this is a decisional, all of this, because this is the area that caused the break of structure. Give me a second. I've got better eyes looking at it from buying. So decision on buying will be here. So selling would be the same. It would be here, I believe. Come on. It would be here because this is the one that caused the break of structure.
Yeah, but
Does it
I've
make
refined
sense?
it. Yeah, but I've refined it down to the 4 hour.
Yeah, nothing wrong. Still, yeah,
Okay. All
yeah, yeah,
right, cool. First. Just have to clarify.
yeah, yeah. Still, it's decisional. Yeah, caused the break of
Um,
structure. It caused the major inducement. But what I was saying is just inducement base POI. So this whole decisional zone POI was it induced to the left, then give us the break internally, and then the major inducement externally. So very, very, for me, strong POI. So
Perfect.
any
That's it.
form of retracement into this, I'm selling.
Perfect. Thank you very much, man. Just got to clarify.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, bro. Um, Let me just drop down to the 1 hour so we can have a look. So you can see the 1 hour legs. So look, that's the last 1 hour low that broke structure. Yeah. After the broke of structure, we then had a retracement. High, low, inducement, break. It broke this one and this one. Retracement. Look how slow the retracement are. Bop, 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 bop. We mitigate this level right here. After I mitigate, we had a main push again. All the way down. Broke structure. After structure was broken, we had some form of pullback. And a push down again. No retracement because it just wants to go down. It just does it doesn't want it, it just wants to go. It just wants to go. It's not even giving us pullbacks because it just wants to go down. Another push down again with a breaker structure here, the retracement into some form of mitigation, with a push down again, with a breaker structure here. Um, God knows what this all of this is down here. Don't know. This for me was a break test, push lower, but you can see how bearish we are. It's crazy. It's literally crazy. It's the first time myself, I don't know for you guys, but it's the first time like I'm trading price action like this. Of course, I'm used to bullishness. When I see bearishness like this, it's just, yeah, it's just, and you can see by how bearish we are that, it doesn't even want to give us retracement. It just want to go. It wants to go. Of course, it's got an overall target where it wants to get to, So from here, I don't know. At the moment, it is reacting from this level. Check it across. So this is where it's reacting from now. This is going to get smoke. This is going to get smoke. I don't believe in this POI. I don't know if anyone else do, but yeah, I believe this is going to get smoke.
I personally believe you'll get a reaction from there. A small one
Yes,
maybe. And then just
it's
gonna get
going to
smoked
smoke
away.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Perfect.
Mate, all the way down to the breaking test zone. That's the attraction, that's my thinking.
Okay, so do you see like what I've noticed as well, yeah? Because this other guy popped up on my YouTube and just a random guy, but he's been trading for like, I don't know, like donkey's years, like probably like 11 years. And we all have similar analysis. He have the same, because before I watched the video, I did my own analysis and worked everything out. And when I watched it and just seeing what he was saying, he had the exact same thing. He expect on EU price is gonna go lower and lower because based on what it's doing and how it's going down. You
Yeah,
know,
because on
because
the
look,
higher
look, look.
time frame, we're near the higher high. Well,
I know,
technically speaking. Yeah, yeah. So we expect him
and
to just yeah, yeah.
now like this was complex pullback because this going up to how it's coming down is hot. It's hot. It's hot coming down. Like it's on job. So yeah, me bearish. I'm gonna be bearish. My overall my trend will be bearish. And any retracement that I get, I'm only going to be holding 1 to 3 maximum. But when I'm selling, especially if I believe the efficiency of the pullback is met, I'll be selling down, and I'll be probably holding it a little bit longer. So one thing as well is we have so much imbalances for the guys who look at imbalance because the imbalance price usually gravitate to the imbalances. So we have so much imbalances that price can give us a reaction from. Just clean this up. We have imbalance here, we have imbalance down here, probably making an imbalance now. There's so much imbalance when we have the retracement up that price can react from to then give us the push down. So that's something that's worth keeping a note on is how many imbalances and if you're going to sell, is there an imbalance above your head? Is it going to like kind of be a trap to then go up more to take the imbalance and then give us the trade down. So it's just something that we should always be mindful of, basically. But in terms of like analysis wise, obviously EU is very, very straightforward. We've broken extreme levels, we are bearish. This confirms that we are bearish. Underneath it, there's ton of liquidity. Ton of liquidity. Break tests. so much is down here. So much is way down here that it can potentially go on target before going up again. But yeah, like I see bad news for, for GU and EU in terms of like money wise, because both of them are crushing quite significantly. And the dollar is just pumping. It's just really, really pumping. So, just make sure you've got a bearish mindset until price gives you otherwise, or until it tells you otherwise, because it does let you know what we are, whether it's on the daily time frame or the 4 hour time frame. Even my brother Nish, that, and it's true what he said, when people believe like, oh, we've missed the move, or is that the move? It would tell you when it's ready to do the move that you want it to do. So if you're looking for buys, sometimes it's just have to wait and let it tell you that it wants to buy, and then take the buy. This chart has been telling you that it wants to sell for months. Because if you go back and look, days and days and days, it's been telling you that it wants to sell. Days and days and days. From high, because it's making lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs. It's been telling you from here in terms of the retracement. But yeah, but that's pretty much what I've got. I've not really got much. So yeah, I'm expecting a retracement. But yeah, on the daily time frame, I need to see, like, yeah, it's just very, very bearish. So any retracement isn't something that I'm gonna be in for a very long time. It'll be very, very short lived, because I'm bearish and I'm just gonna follow the trend basically. Does anyone have anything else that they would like to say before I wrap it up?
Just got a question, Shane.
Mm-hmm.
If you go on the 1 hour and you do the swing high to the swing low, just
Mm-hmm.
between the previous day high and the previous day low, there's a breaking test that I marked out. Have you got the same thing as well?
So from you're talking from this for share.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I marked that out as a
Mm,
breaking test.
yeah, I would say so. I would say so because look, from that high to that low down here, we have a break here and we have not reached no efficiency, not even 50%, and it's going to sell down. So yeah, I'll mark that as break and test. But
Cool.
just remember that just remember though that we are down. So you can look at it as short-term break and test, but in a way, price do need to retrace because we had a major inducement into a mitigation because it's mitigate this zone now. So does that make sense? So we do need some form of retracement back up into this level to grab a
Mm.
liquidity to go down again, or it could just disrespect anything, everything, just be bearish and just
Yeah,
continue going down.
yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. Before, above your previous daily high, I marked out a trend line liquidity. Obviously, the order blocks that formed have the order
Okay,
flow.
because
Sorry.
this is a break and test as well.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. So there's loads of liquidity line up here,
Mm.
loads of imbalances, loads of stuff lying up here that potentially might want to go and sweep, and especially after giving us this major inducement. I was expecting, usually after a major inducement, I'm expecting like a long-term move or a couple days move at least before going down again. But because we're so bearish, bro, it just popped up, a couple pop up, and then that's it,
Yeah,
done.
yeah, yeah.
And then it just pushed down again. So it just completely disrespect the major inducement, like it never happened.
Mm. I've marked out a major inducement just below the demand zone, well, the POI, and I
This
think
level here.
yeah. I figured it's going to do the same thing as well.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see why, because that was a low, was a
Mhm.
previous day low that made a high that broke structure. So yeah,
Mm.
I can see it. But the one that's relevant to us was this one. But yeah, this one got disrespected, like it wasn't there. So once this one gets taken, then what I find is inducement into mitigation. So once it gives you that inducement here by taking this, if it mitigates something down underneath, then that potentially might, you know, it may potentially start retracing after it gives us some kind of clean mitigation. And especially if what it mitigates is an inducement based POI. So what I mean by that is these are the one that usually will hold, is the one then that induce something and then give you a push up and a break of structure. So that then becomes an inducement based POI. Those are strong ones. Does that make sense?
Yeah, perfect, bro. That makes sense to me.
Because the inducement will be this low getting taken, as you said, major inducement, low getting taken, mitigate into an inducement based POI, and then book, then potentially then you will get the retracement. Because just
Mm.
like this level now is an inducement based POI, because we've induced, mitigate. So let's see if it's going to give us the retracement. Sorry, yeah, this one's an inducement to mitigation, POI.
Mm. Mm.
But yeah,
Thank you,
that's
bro.
what I've got.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no, no problem. But just have to be careful because we're so bearish. It's crazy. It's actually crazy how bearish we are. It's crazy.
Hey Shane, I was
100%.
gonna say, yeah, if people are not used to, for example, like selling and stuff, they can press Control Z and flip the chart in it.
Yeah, to look at it from a buying perspective.
Yeah.
Oh, mine's probably old Control Z, but yeah, yeah, they can do. But it's bro, I've never seen this. It is heavily bearish.
But also, Shane, when we tapped like weekly zones, extreme zones, or monthly zones, it's gonna have a long reaction.
Yeah,
And taking the war in mind as well with the oil.
yeah, yeah. Can you see like the break and test on the monthly? Can you see it?
Yeah, yeah,
Break, test, push higher, extreme. Now we're coming down. We have to come underneath this, man.
yeah. It's gonna be a long one.
Yeah. Look at this. We have look imbalances. Just loads of stuff down here. This is the push. And that's the break. But on the monthly, you can see we're bearish. That's the high that led to the low structure. And we're tracing up. Mitigate extreme. So yeah, we need to we'll see where it goes. But this, from a monthly perspective, will be the break of structure. That one down there. Because then just shoot down and break structure and then come back up again and shoot down again if that's what it wants to do. If not, then just goes up and make a higher high. You can see clearly on the monthly. But you know, when you look at the monthly time frame, it's just so that in your head, you know why it's reacting from where. That's all it is. So you can say, okay, this is reacting from a monthly extreme level or a monthly decisional level or a weekly decisional level or a weekly extreme level. That's all you need, that this information up here, because we don't trade this information. We don't we use it, we use it, but you know, we don't trade it. We go down to the 5 minutes, the 4 minutes, the 3 minutes, and the 1 minute to execute. So the ones that's relevant to us has to be the 1 hour, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 4 hours in the daily. But obviously, it's nice to know why things are reacting from where. For those who are new to the chat, basically. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. The only thing I would say is just be safe tomorrow. Monday, I had a look on the news. There's some big news coming this week. So the market might do some like fake reaction, fake movement, trap people. What I mean by big news, there is interest rate for the dollar and also for GU and also for EU. So if you go on Forex Factory and see, you'll see that there's a lot of interest rate news. And of course, interest rates will affect the currency quite heavily. And also PMI data and whatever is on there this week. But there's a lot going off this week. So I'm expecting a lot of movement and a lot of reaction. So yeah, just, don't, if you want to wait for some structure to develop tomorrow, that would probably be a good idea. As I said, we need at least 2 15 minutes candle to kind of confirm not just structure, but confirm some form of retracement. Like some form of retracement is going to start. So the first 15 minute will be the change of character. Then the second 15 minute will be the break of structure. Then you can say, okay, the retracement phase is going to start as the complex pullback to then do pro trend down again. But yeah, so don't, if you're not feeling Monday, you don't have to trade Monday. Be safe. As I said, the safer option is to wait and then look for sales because you'll be going with the trend. But understand that we've just had a major inducement and we're sitting quite low. So we do need some form of retracement. We need some form of pullback before going down again. But yeah, it's very, very bearish. So it's kind of it's one of them ones.
Yeah.
Does it make sense? Because we're sitting down here just like we are on GU. We need a retracement to then go down again. But is it going to give us it? Is it not? I don't know. Is it just going to go down and carry on taking our levels? I don't know. But I would say I would rather risk money selling than buying in this market condition.
Apologies, man. I sent the right controls in the chat.
Sorry, say that again.
No, I just dropped the right controls in the chat. Apologies for that.
Oh no. Okay, I can't see anyway. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I'm guessing we all have kind of similar analysis, and I'll take it. We all kind of looking for similar things. But yeah, I'll let everyone enjoy the night. It's 10 o'clock now, or 10:30. The market's gonna open up again. Well, it's already open. I can see movement. So just trade safe tomorrow and just take it easy. Don't blow your account on Monday. It's only Monday. Some people like to blow their account on Monday. I don't know why. So
Thank you very much, Shane, though. Thank you very
Some of
much.
us
No, it's
went for
calm.
Tuesday though.
Yeah, Tuesday is better. Why not? At least there's something there to blow it, isn't it? Monday, there's nothing there, and they'll be blowing it on nothing. Especially in this condition when there is no kind of structure to trade. Yeah, drop down to 15 minute now. There's nothing there. What can I trade now in 15 minutes? Where am I gonna show me what bullish change of character for me to buy up? Let me drop down to 5 minutes. There's nothing here. Not for me anyway. There's nothing here. I'm gonna wait for 15-minute build up or something before I trade. And if you guys notice, when there is no structure or nothing to trade, Yassine will go missing. People said, "Oh, I don't. Where's Yassine? He hasn't come on the chart." Yassine, no, there's nothing there to trade. So why does he need to come on to do what? Once there's some form of structure now that you can trade, then he will come on and he will get a bit freaky. But there's no structure there now for no trade for me. And I can't sell down here. It makes no sense for me. And I can't buy right now because it's, there's no structure and we're heavily bearish. So yeah, I'm going to wait until I see some form of structure or something to buy up on. because I wouldn't sell because we're at the low at the moment. But then the other thing is, how low is the low? I don't know. How do I know that this is where it's going to stop and start retracing? I don't know. But that's why I'm just going to wait for some structure. I need something to go on. But yeah, that's it, man. Hope everyone have a good night. Enjoy. And yeah, don't
Thank you
blow
so
it.
much, Shane.
You're welcome. Have a good night,
Yeah,
guys.
thank you, Shane, man.
It's all right.